Most people spend their lives staring at a screen, watching red and green candles flicker up and down. They're addicted to the vibration in their pocket, hoping for a win that finally lets them breathe. They call it investing, but if we're being honest, it's just gambling with a better suit on. Warren Buffett took $114 in 1942 and turned it into $100 billion. But he didn't do it by charting or predicting. In fact, he spent his first 8 years doing exactly that, reading hundreds of pages of technical analysis, trying to guess what the market would do tomorrow. And he failed. He realized he was playing a game designed for losers. He wasn't an investor, he was a spectator. Today, we're going to rejigger your mind. We're moving away from the ticker tape and into the boardroom. This is the blueprint for owning the world instead of just watching it. The moment your life changes is the moment you stop buying stocks and start buying businesses. Imagine there was no stock market. Imagine you bought a farm or an apartment complex. You wouldn't check the price every 10 minutes. You check the soil. You check the rent rolls. You check the harvest. You'd understand that wealth isn't a price tag. It's productive capacity. The lesson: when you own a piece of a great business, you are a partner with the most brilliant minds on the planet. If the market closes for 5 years, you don't care. The farm still grows corn. The business still solves problems. The practical edge: stop looking for the next big thing and start looking for the thing that won't change. People will still need banking. They'll still want a cold drink, and they'll still need energy. Wealth is found in the inevitable, not the speculative.
You don't need to be a genius to be rich. In fact, being a genius might actually be your biggest liability. If you go into physics, you need a 170 IQ. But in the game of wealth, a 120 IQ with the right orientation will destroy a 170 IQ with the wrong temperament. Why? Because geniuses try to outsmart the system. They try to timing the crash. They try to predict the unpredictable. 90% of people feel worse when the market goes down. That is a biological failure. A true owner feels better when prices drop. If you were a farmer, would you be upset if the acreage next door suddenly became 20% cheaper? No, you'd buy the land. The strategy? Keep your competitive spirit in a game you can actually win. You can't win at predicting. You can win at patience. Wealth isn't a test of your brain. It's a test of your stomach.
We live in an age of miracles, yet we act like we're starving. John D. Rockefeller was the richest man on earth a century ago, but by every functional metric of life, you live better than he ever did. Think about the details. When Rockefeller had a toothache, there was no Novocaine, just the agony of the drill. When he wanted to watch a game, he traveled for days to sit in the dirt. He didn't have a 4K screen in his pocket to watch a replay from 3 different angles. If you wanted to cross the ocean, it was a week on a ship. You do it in hours while watching a movie. The bottom 2% today have access to medicine, information, and entertainment. Less than 1% of the population created 20% of the world's wealth, not by working harder, but by building machines and networks that work while they sleep. Stop complaining about the world and start participating in its growth. That supercomputer in your hand isn't a toy for distraction. It's a high-precision tool for capital allocation. If you're using it to scroll through gossip instead of building an empire, you aren't a victim, you're a volunteer.
Warren Buffett bought his first stock on March 11, 1942. He was 11 years old. Since that day, he has owned a piece of productive business for over 80% of his life. Think about the discipline in that time frame. Through world wars, through the Cold War, through market crashes, stagflation, and global pandemics, he never stopped being an owner. He understands a truth that most people spend their lives ignoring. More things don't bring more happiness. They just bring more complexity, more maintenance, and more problems. What makes him happy isn't the number in his bank account. It's the game. As long as there are people waking up wanting a better life, wanting to solve a problem, or wanting to build something new, the economy will move forward. You don't need a miracle to get wealthy. You don't need a lucky break or a secret tip from a guru. You need to stop being a nervous spectator of the ticker tape and start being a permanent partner in the economy. Stop trading your peace of mind for the desperate hope that the market goes up next Monday. Stop checking your phone every hour to see if you're winning or losing. If you own a great business, you've already won. The price is just noise. The value is the signal. The decade is going to pass whether you participate or not. You can spend it watching the lines move up and down, or you can spend it building a fortress. Invest in what stays. Build what lasts. Own the future.
What have we learned? That wealth isn't a lottery, it's a transformation. You've seen how Chloe traded her soul for an illusion, and how Marcus traded his comfort for a fortress. You now know that the rich don't work for money. They build assets, scale their value through AI, and master their temperament while the world panics. Here is your final method. Stop the leak. Audit your life. Identify where you are decorating a cage instead of building a net worth. Pick your AI lever. Choose one path, be it automation, high-stakes design, or SEO, and go deep. Become the specialist the market cannot ignore. Execute the audit to deal. Don't ask for permission. Find a problem, record the solution, and deliver value before you ever ask for a dollar. Adopt the owner mindset. Stop watching the ticker. Start backing the business. You don't need more information. You need more courage. You don't need a miracle. You need an iteration. Stop being a spectator in someone else's success story and start being the architect of your own. The decade is moving. The only question left is, are you coming with us or are you staying behind?
If this message feels like it hit home, that's no accident. It's your inner voice calling for change. And here's the truth. Staying the same won't get you anywhere new, but taking action will. That's exactly why thousands of people just like you have already broken free from living paycheck to paycheck by following a simple, proven blueprint. You don't need special skills, you don't need a second job. What you need is the right system, and it's already helping over 55,000 members build real financial freedom. So, here's your choice. Close this video and go back to business as usual, or click the link below and take your first step towards stability, freedom, and the life you know you're meant to live. The opportunity is here. The question is, are you ready to take it?